Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Steve Games. This video, guys, is the week 6 prediction. Week 6 results of the Premier League season. So, to make it easier as well, guys, we are going to be doing this a little bit different. You will know, because normally I just go person by person who predicts and then the results that way, but I'm going game by game. So there's 3 people that have, for example, voted just for one game. They predicted just for one game. So what I am going to be doing is the 3 people that predicted the one game, I am then going to be going to the people that predicted every game. So for example, Sam, he predicted on the Spurs game. So then I'll be going to Brandon, who predicted all the games, and taking out his prediction on Spurs, and so forth, my one, and then all the others. So what we're going to start with is Sam. So he predicted one game which was 3-1 to Spurs to win. But obviously the actual scoreline was 2-1 to Leicester City. So that's that. So obviously unlucky in that one, Sam, my man. And then we go to Brandon Dowling, who predicted every game. And his Tottenham and Leicester City score, his prediction was 2-0 to Tottenham. But obviously we know Leicester won 2-1. And then we're going to come to Whata prediction. So he did predict, guys, Leicester to win 2-1. So well done to Ishi on getting that prediction correct. Well done to you, my man. And then we're going to come to LFC. So he predicted, guys, 2-1 to Spurs. I know I've got to say it again, but Leicester won 2-1. And then we come to my Leicester game. So I predicted 3-1 to Spurs. But as I say, Leicester won 2-1. So yeah, that is that, guys. And then the next game who predicted singly is Kaka. So he predicted Man United to win 2-1. So as we know, West Ham United won 2-0. So he did not get that one right. And then Brandon, as you know, did every single game. And he predicted 3-1 to Manchester United. But obviously West Ham won 2-0. So obviously that was incorrect. And then we come to YT. So his prediction for the West Ham game was 1-0 to Manchester United. But as I say, guys, West Ham won 2-0. And then LFC. So his prediction for the West Ham game, guys, was 2-1 to Manchester United. But as we know, 2-0 to West Ham. And then we come to my prediction. And my prediction was a 3-1 win to Manchester United as well. But you know me, I never get any prediction right whatsoever. So we know that anyway. So, and then the last person to predict a single scoreline was my mate Dave, who I work with. He predicted 2-1 to Aston Villa. But as we know, Arsenal won 3-2. I'll get in a bit of detail about that game once we have gone through these guys. And then the next person, so then Brandon predicted 2-0 Arsenal. But obviously it was 3-2. And then we come to Ishi, who predicted 3-1 Arsenal. But it was 3-2. So he got the 3 right for Arsenal. But obviously, Aston, if he said 3-2, he would have been correct. But unfortunately, It was 3-2 and not 3-1. And then we come to LRB prediction. He predicted 3-1 to Arsenal, guys. But then in brackets, he did put hopefully 8-0 Arsenal. But as we know, Arsenal are never going to score 8 goals. I'm an Arsenal fan and I know that. I know that for sure. They're never going to score 8 goals. So yeah, he predicted 3-1, but obviously it was 3-2. So that is it for the single ones, guys. But a bit about the Arsenal game. In my eyes, I think Villa deserved a point in that game. If I'm completely honest with you, obviously, I don't know if you watched it or saw the highlights, but an Arsenal, I don't know who it was now, but an Arsenal player literally handball here. So in my eyes, that is handball, whether it's deliberate or not. That's why they've brought out VAR. But in my eyes, VAR are taking over football in the Premier League. They're meant, VAR is meant to be there, that things that refs can't see. So the VAR gets different angles of it. But in my eyes, some decisions from the VAR is just absolutely pathetic. It really is. I mean, I'm happy with the 3-2 result against Villa. I just think, our back line needs sorting out a little bit. But 3 points, it doesn't matter whether we win 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. We still won the game. We still got the 3 points we need. So we are just going to carry on, guys, with the rest of the predictions. So starting with Brandon, guys. So ones I'm saying now, they predicted every game. So with Brandon, he predicted Southampton, Bournemouth. He predicted 1-0 to Bournemouth. He got the win right, but it was actually 3-1 to Bournemouth in that game. And then we come to Burnley and Norwich. So he predicted 2-0 Norwich, but it was actually 2-0 to Burnley. And then Everton and Sheffield United. His prediction was 2-0 Everton, but it was actually a 2-0 win to Sheffield. And then we come to Man City and Watford. So I think everyone in here, guys, everyone will predict in this game Man City to win, like 3, 4, 5-0 maybe. But they actually won 8-0 against Watford. So, So obviously, I know I got that wrong. So yeah, I think most people would have. You ain't going to predict 8-0. This is very, very unlikely. But this is Man City. They'll probably do it again this season at least twice, if not more. And then Newcastle and Brighton Hove Albion. So he predicted a 1-0 win to Brighton, but it was actually a 0-0 draw. And then we come to Chelsea and Liverpool. As we know, I know he is a Chelsea fan. So he predicted 1-0 to Liverpool. But unfortunately for those Chelsea fans, they lost 2-1 against a good Liverpool team, who I still think is going to win the Premier League this season, without a doubt. Oh, sorry, and Crystal Palace and Wolverhampton as well. So he predicted 1-0 to Wolves, but it was actually a 1-1 draw. So that is it for Brandon's predictions. So yeah, thank you to Brandon for putting his predictions in, guys. Thank you to everyone who does get predictions in, guys. That is much, much appreciated. So now we're gonna we got 3 more, guys. So we got Ishi's predictions, LRB, and then mine. I'll try and get through them as quickly as possible. So Ishi predicted. Where's money? So he predicted 3-1 to Bournemouth, and the score was 3-1 to Bournemouth. So well done to Ishi on getting that correct. As we know, he got the Leicester and Spurs game right as well. And then we come to Burnley and Norwich. He predicted a 1-1 draw, but it's actually 2-0 to Burnley. And then we come to Everton and Sheffield United. He predicted 2-1 Everton, but it was actually 2-0 to Sheffield. And then Man City and Watford. He predicted a 5-1 to City, but as we know, it was 8-0. And then we come to Newcastle and Brighton, guys. So he predicted a 2-1 win to Brighton, but it's actually 0-0. And then Crystal Palace and Wolves. He predicted 2-1 Crystal Palace, but it was actually a 1-1 draw. And then the last game, Chelsea and Liverpool. He predicted 3-1 Liverpool, but was actually 2-1 Liverpool. So he got the win right, just not the result. And then my last subscriber to predict was LRB LFC. So Southampton and Bournemouth. He predicted 2-0 Bournemouth, but it was 3-1 Bournemouth. So he got the win right, just not the actual result, which is what I'm looking for. And then Burnley and Norwich. He predicted 1-0 to Norwich, but was actually 2-0 Burnley. And then Everton and Sheffield United. He predicted 2-1 Everton, but was actually 2-0 to Sheffield in that one. Man City and Watford. He predicted 3-1 to Man City, but as we know, this is Man City, and it was 8-0. And then Brighton and Newcastle. He predicted a 1-1 draw, but it was actually a 0-0 draw. So I'll give him that. He got the draw right, just not the result. And then Crystal Palace and Wolves. He predicted a 1-1 draw, and it was a 1-1 draw. So well done on that, LRB, for getting that one correct. And then last but not least, we come to Liverpool and Chelsea. He predicted 2-0 Liverpool. So he got the win right, but it's actually 2-1. And then we come, last but not least, guys, my awful predictions as normal. So I did predict 2-1 to Bournemouth. No, sorry, 2-0 Bournemouth. But it was actually 3-1. So yeah, I got the win right, just not the result. And then Burnley and Norwich. I predicted 2-1 to Norwich, but it was actually, as we know, 2-0 to Burnley. Everton and Sheffield United. I predicted a 1-1 draw, but obviously it was 2-0 to Sheffield United. Man City Watford. My score was 3-0 City, but was 8-0. And then Newcastle and Brighton. I predicted a 2-1 win to Newcastle, but it was actually a 0-0 draw. And then the last three games, Crystal Palace and Wolverhampton. I predicted a 2-2 draw, but it was actually a 1-1 draw. So I got the draw right, just not the result. And then my team, Arsenal, and my mate's team, Villa. So obviously I am going to predict, no matter what, not all the time, Arsenal to win. I predicted 3-0. So I got the 3 right, just not the 2 to the other team. Because as we know, Arsenal did win 3-2. Last but not least, Chelsea and Liverpool. I predicted a 3-1 win to Liverpool, but it was actually a 2-1 win to Liverpool. So I didn't get any of those correct, as usual. But well done to the people that did get them right. So Ishii got 2 right. He got the Bournemouth game right with 3-1 to Bournemouth, and the Leicester game right with 2-1 Leicester. Well done to LRB on getting the Crystal Palace and Wolves result right, a 1-1 draw. And you didn't get any right, unfortunately. So guys, that is it for the game week 6 of your predictions. For Friday's predictions, I may change it up a little bit, like the title, and then just call it like your predictions, blah blah blah. So my predictions won't be in it; it'll be your predictions, and we'll see how that one goes. I think try and change it up a little bit. But yeah, guys, sorry this has like been quite a long video, like 15 minutes or so. But I do appreciate it if you do watch this, guys. And if you could drop a like on it also, guys, that'd be much appreciated. That really would. Also, please do comment as well, guys. But yeah, thank you for watching if you did watch. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.